Marvel Knights 20th Anniversary #1. This is written by Donny, art by Foreman. Before I get into the book, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Marvel Knights line. So this was an imprint started in 1998 by Joe Quesada at Marvel. So Marvel was not doing very well financially at the time, so they gave Joe Quesada this imprint, and he was told to go out and hire independent comic creators who could experiment and really try to do their own thing with these lower profile characters and try to do something with them. So some of the higher profile books that I really enjoyed from this line was Daredevil. It started out being written by Kevin Smith, the director of Clerks. He only did a couple issues, but then Brian Michael Bendis took over, and Bendis did this super long run on Daredevil, and it was really great. And another book I really loved of the Marvel Knights imprint was The Punisher, and that one was written by Garth Ennis, and the art a lot of it was done by Steve Dillon, and this is the quintessential Punisher. This was probably the best Punisher run ever. Such good stuff. So Marvel Knights has a deep history of quality, and this book is, I guess, supposed to be a celebration of that, the 20th anniversary of that, with a new original story. So the storyline in this issue is very weird and kind of out there. So apparently it appears like a lot of the Marvel characters' minds have been wiped. They don't remember who they are or who other people are. So when this issue opens up, we see Matt Murdock, and he's at Karen Page's tombstone, and he's crying over her grave. But Matt Murdock does not know who he is or who Karen Page is or really anything about his life. And all of a sudden, Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, he's in a cop car, and he's a cop now? That's very weird. And he's talking to Matt Murdock, and he's trying to snap him out of it and get him to remember his life. And eventually Matt Murdock does, and they go their separate ways, and Frank Castle goes back to his cop car, and Bruce Banner is in the back seat, and Bruce Banner has a list of names that Frank Castle has to go and meet and wake up, and we see this list of names, and first is Frank, then there was Logan, aka Wolverine, Steve Rogers. So these names are crossed off the list, so apparently he's already gone and woke these people up and confronted them. And he just finished Matt Murdock, and the next person on the list is Elektra, but we also have Tony Stark, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage on this list. So that's very interesting and odd. And then we jump over to Bullseye, and he's on the phone with Kingpin, and apparently Kingpin has tasked Bullseye with following Matt Murdock in exchange for Bullseye being told who he is and being able to remember everything about his life, because Bullseye his memory has been wiped. And very odd, right? Then we go back to Daredevil, and he's going to see Foggy Nelson, his old-time lawyer friend. He goes to the law office, and all of a sudden Foggy does not know who Matt Murdock is. And Matt is like, "Foggy, it's me." And all of a sudden, it appears that Foggy Nelson owns this law office with Jennifer Walters, who aka She-Hulk, and they own this law practice together. And they don't know who Matt Murdock is. And then Matt gives Foggy this card that sort of says, that he's a lawyer and all of his information, and he gives it to Foggy, and Foggy looks at it, and it's blank to him, which is very peculiar as well. They call the cops on Matt because to them, he just seems like this crazy person. They don't know who this guy is. So Matt jumps out the window and he escapes before the cops arrive. Matt is tripping out. He's crying. He's confused. He's praying. And then all of a sudden, Karen Page appears before him. And that's where that part of the storyline ends. But then we jump over to Bullseye, and he is now meeting Kingpin in person. Bullseye is told who he is from the Kingpin, and Kingpin has all this information that's been collected on Matt Murdock. But Kingpin also doesn't appear to know what's going on because he says he doesn't even know who Matt Murdock is. And then this mysterious figure appears, and Kingpin treats this figure with a lot of respect. And Kingpin bows down before this figure and he says, "My lord, I did not know you would be here." And this figure is talking to Kingpin, and it is sort of revealed that there is some sort of a machine that can make people forget. We don't know what this machine is, but that appears to be what has happened here. And then this mysterious figure is revealed to be Doctor Doom, and that's how this issue ends, with that big reveal. So this was an interesting debut issue. There's lots of mystery and intrigue. Why did everyone forget? Will they be able to remember again? How will the universe be made right again? What is this mysterious machine that has this ability to change reality? How does Doctor Doom fit into this? So lots of stuff I'm interested in. However, I must say, I don't know if this storyline is the best homage to the initial Marvel Knights imprint and those initial stories. So I don't know if that's the best way to honor it, but nevertheless, I mean, it's still an interesting story. I would give this a 7.5 out of 10. It's pretty fun and interesting. But I don't really think if you're a Marvel Knights fan that you have to pick this up. It's not really essential to that. But if you're a Donny Cates fan, or if this whole mystery storyline sounds interesting to you, then check this out.